Hello, peeps. I am live. Um, I don't know if anybody was around for the earlier in Detroit Become Human debacle, but basically, I don't think my computer is strong enough at the moment to run that and then also run OBS and all the fun stuff that needs to be run. So we're gonna play games that are a little less intensive on my PC for now. Um, and so I decided Apollo Justice because I love Ace Attorney. Ace Attorney is like, honestly, I think it's probably my favorite video game franchise of all time. I've played the Ace Attorney series like itself so many times. Like I bought it on my Nintendo DS, then I bought it on my Switch, and then I bought it on my my Steam, and also got all the achievements for funsies. And it's just like it's such a blast. I love going back to it. And I mean, I had Apollo Justice, I think, purchased for me like as a gift. And I played, I think, the first couple of cases, and I don't know whatever happened. Like I think I just have a lot of trouble like picking up my Nintendo DS and actually using it, honestly. So I think I just got lost in that. Like, I'm really the type of person who, like, it's not going to get played unless it's on Steam. So, yeah. So I think that's kind of where it fell. And then I saw, like recently, I think, like, literally last week or maybe 2 weeks ago, that Apollo Justice was on Steam. And also, not just Apollo Justice, but also the Miles one, the Miles Edgeworth ones, which I haven't bought that franchise yet, but I haven't played any of those games. And I love Miles. So I'm really looking forward to that one. But in the meantime, I figured let's start with Apollo Justice. I think that makes sense. So, yeah, I mean, without further ado, I guess let's, like, jump right into it, since I've just been chatting at the camera for a second. I mean, maybe a little bit. But I mean, to be fair, Ace Attorney lawyering isn't really lawyering. It's not very accurate. Okay, let's get this open. Okay, opening for the first. I've literally never opened it before, so it's doing its first time setup and everything. That's super, super fun. Okay. Also, hello, peep. Welcome to the stream. Alright. So, game. Let's stream Ace Attorney here. There we go. Oh, I'm so excited. This game supports an autosave feature. Please do not turn your PC off when the icon above is on screen. Probably didn't need to read that for you guys, but I'm here to help. Oh, I like that. Okay, it shows me the border, but it doesn't show you the border, which is really, really nice. Click the view button below to read our privacy. It's okay. Thanks for offering them. I'm so excited. Volume's a little loud, so let's turn that down. Music can go all the way there. Effects can go there. Okay, how does that look? Honestly, maybe I'll turn that down even a little further for you guys. Hopefully that's okay. Yeah. Well, maybe it could stand to be a little louder then. Okay, should be good to go. I'll adjust volume if needed as we go. Vibration on, screen flash on, of course subtitles. How am I going to play without subtitles? Text skip. Enable or disable, it's fine. I haven't played this game yet, so I'll skip text skipping for now. Language, PC config. I would like borderless, thank you. Okay, that's so much better. Turn this on to enable story mode in place of autoplay, allowing you to progress through the game automatically without having to press any buttons. The answers to questions, presentation of evidence, etc. are all handled on your behalf. Some accolades may not be available to you if you use story mode. Well, no thank you. I want to play this game. Turn this on to enable consultation string. Oh, is this like... Oh, you have the option to consult your partner for hints and help. Oh, that's cute. I love that. Well, it's okay. We'll turn that off. Yeah, we'll turn it off. It's fine. I'm sure I'll figure it out. Okay. Okay, perfect. So settings look good, I believe. And now we can just jump right at game selection and museum. What's the museum? Let's see. QE, switch games. Oh, there's so many games in here. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Okay, so it's saying Apollo, Justice, Ace Attorney. There are 4 cases. And then Dual Destiny, there are 6 cases. And then Spirit of Justice. Oh man, that looks so good. You know what? I'm really pleased to see that Phoenix is back in action here because... Man, it's just... There's no one like Phoenix. He's just the best. Okay, new game. Oh man, so excited. Okay. Episode 1, Turnabout Trump. I love the animation in this game. It's just so pretty. Showdown time. So I guess a game of poker got deadly. I love how dramatic it is. I seem to be in a bit of trouble. Something like that. Dead. Someone hit him hard. Me? Please. The cops should be here any minute. I'm in your hands. Should it come to that. Dun 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 dun. It feels so good to be looking at this game. Wait, so is there a way to, like, was it just auto-playing because I was in a cinematic? I don't want to skip text, but... Oops. I'm sure it'll be fine. We'll see. Okay. Panicked. Palms sweaty. I can admit it. I'm nervous. Good morning. Am I really gonna read this whole game? Maybe. Good morning, sir. You look tense, Justice. Wound up tight. I like Kristoff. Wound up, sir? No, I'm loose. I'm fine. Oh my god, that's a way to say that. That screeching noise, is that your voice? I suppose it's to be expected. Your first trial and it's a homicide. I guess justice doesn't start small, eh? I'm fine. I got up at 5 a.m. to do my Cords of Steel voice workout. I'm fine. That explains it. I did detect a certain rasping quality to your screech. Oh my god. That's hilarious. Cough. I overdid it again. You more than overdid it, man. But I mean, No, now your objections are gonna be affected. Your voice better not crack through any of those. As you know, your client today is a good friend of mine. I wouldn't want to let him down, if you get my drift. So are you friends or not? Because I feel like... I don't know. That just doesn't sound like something you say if you're friends. And drift gotten, sir. I'm all over that drift. Oh my god, he is just as awkward as Phoenix. He's a really good... What's the word for somebody who comes after? I was gonna say predecessor, but that's before, so postecessor? That probably sounds so stupid. Whatever. Drift gotten, sir. Oh, right, I already read that. As it happens, I dined with him the night of the murder. We can't let this case fall through. Yes, I'm fine, sir. One more thing. Don't say you're fine quite so much. People might take you the wrong way. Why? Gulp. I'll be preparing our case. You might want to introduce yourself to the client. Okay, time to do it. Time to introduce ourselves to the one and only. My name is Apollo Justice. If it isn't clear already, I'm a new attorney, and today is my first trial. Not that I'm worried or anything. The defendant has been accused of murder. My favorite thing ever is Ace Attorney having the first trial of these newbie lawyers being like a high profile murder case. Like, totally responsible. Totally reasonable. I mean, it works out in the end, but my boss wants to help him out, of course, and so do I. I mean, there's no way he did it. Not him. No way. I think I mentioned in the description, and I think I also mentioned at the beginning of this video, I did play the first couple of cases in this game, the Apollo Justice one specifically, and let me tell you, it was so goddamn painful seeing him pop up and being like, is this Phoenix? Because it's just not... That's not Phoenix. Like, he's lost all his pizzazz. It's just... It's rough, man. Whoa. Look, he even looks lost. Good, morning. Morning. It's all up to you today. First trial. Nervous. Meeting him. Cardiac arrest. I think I'm supposed to say something. Help? So, you're... Fine. I'm fine. What did Christoph just say about saying you're fine, Apollo? Ah, Mr. Fine, is it? I did remember you having an odd name. Bro, your name is Phoenix Wright. You're one to talk about odd names. Anyway, well, we're off to a great start. Are you sure you're okay? I mean, with me? Mr. Gavin is a top-notch defense attorney. And he's your friend. So, why... You'll see. I'd be confused too. You can do it. Be confident. He's saying this because he's Phoenix. Like, just because you can do it doesn't mean everyone can do it. Granted, Apollo is special. He can do it. I'm really sorry this happened to you. I mean, it's time. Shall we? Yes, sir. He's such a sweet boy. Okay, I need to focus. First trial, here comes justice. I should have capitalized the justice in my stream title. I'm gonna have to go back and do that after now. April 20th, 10 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 2. Oh yeah, I see autoplay down there, so I guess that was just for the cinematic. The court is now in session. Oh my god, it's Payne! What's with his hair? Why does he look like that? The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is, fine. I mean, ready, Your Honor. Mind going blank. Don't panic. Too late. He's literally sweating buckets. Your name was Mr. Justice? And this is your first trial? Yes, Your Honor. But I'm fine, really. Oh my god, I should count how many times he says fine. I think so far it's like we're in the double digits. I actually don't think we're in the double digits. We might be at 6 or 7. Maybe 7. I'm not sure. Are you quite sure? Your voice sounds a bit strained. Ahem. Mr. Gavin? Yes, Your Honor? I was under the impression that you would be heading up this case. That was my intention, yes. However, a defense attorney must always cede to his client's wishes. And my client specifically requested Mr. Justice. That's such a Phoenix thing to do. Well, of course he wants justice, but to entrust his case to this greenhorn, why? I do not exaggerate when I say that you're the best defense attorney in town, Mr. Gavin. Oh, that's so nice of him to say. Okay, so Gavin's got... Wait, can a judge even say that in court? Like... I don't know, that just feels weird. It feels like a conflict for some reason. Okay, so Gavin's got trial experience, fine, but does he have cords of steel? Then, let's begin. The defendant may enter the courtroom. Phoenix. This is truly an unfortunate turn of events. I'm sorry we had to meet again under these circumstances. Long time no see, Mr. Wright. Let's put the past behind us, shall we? These days, I'm merely Phoenix Wright. Piano player. The worst piano player of all time! Mr. Wright, how could this have happened? I won't speak of it further then. If the prosecution would be so kind as to explain the charges, Mr. Payne? To think, I saw you enter this room a fresh attorney, and now I'll see you leave in chains. Oh my god. He's always so confident every single time until he gets absolutely slaughtered. And actually, you know what gets me? Is that, like, I'm pretty sure that in the first game, they described Payne as somebody who absolutely slaughtered, like, you know, new lawyers and stuff. But seeing how he acted in the case with Phoenix, and then this first one with Apollo, it's like, how? How is he doing that? You know? Hi, baby. So yeah. Anyway, I'm looking forward to it. I don't like Payne. Winston Payne. Subtle as ever, I see. The crime occurred at the Borscht Bowl Club, a Russian restaurant. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, took the victim, a customer, and he hit him, wham, on the head, smack, killed him cold. Oh my god, that's a lot of drama. A customer at the restaurant, you say? And the defendant, you say he was the pianist for the club, it seems. Phoenix Wright, a pianist? This is the weapon that took the victim's life, a bottle of grape juice. Grape juice is apparently our defendant's drink of choice. The court accepts the deadly bottle as evidence. Deadly bottle added to the court record. Something to note, Justice. All evidence is filed in the court record. Make a practice of checking it frequently. The court record. Right, I've heard of that. Use E to look at the evidence so far. I'm confident in your ability to handle this. Right, just use E. Sounds like it's time for some hands-on action. Alright. Actually, do you want to read through everything? Okay, how long did I yarn for one of these. Just putting it on makes me feel ready. Aw, that's so sweet. Okay, that's cool. How do I like move? Oops. How do I like move the... Oh, with WASD. Oh my goodness. There we go. Examine. There's a number inscribed on the back of the badge. There are many numbers like it, but this one is mine. Proof that I'm an attorney. Aww. To tell the truth, I get a happy feeling inside just looking at it. Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, oh my god, you don't hear that from a lot of attorneys. Okay. Well, let me go back. Smith's autopsy report. The time of death was around 2 a.m. April 17th. Death caused by single blow to forehead. Victim's name, Shady Smith. Age, question mark, male. April 17th between 1:45 a.m. and 2:15 a.m. Cause of death, cerebral hemorrhaging resulting from blunt trauma to forehead. Okay, that does not sound fun. Okay, crime photo 1. The sub-basement at the Borscht Bowl Club. Deadly bottle. Grape juice bottle used as the murder weapon. Bears the defendant, Mr. Wright's prints. Anything on the lid? Anything? Oh, the label. Grape juice. How long has it been since I drank grape juice? For me, it's been like... I hate grape juice, so never? I don't know. Apparently, it's Mr. Wright's favorite drink. I wonder how well it goes with borscht? I don't know. I don't think it has anything to do with how compatible it is with borscht. Okay, let's see. The bottle is completely empty. That's interesting. Wait, so if this is the bottle that killed him, why isn't it broken? Like, how is it completely... Anyway, whatever. Maybe we'll figure that out. Okay. So, the victim was a customer at this restaurant. But just who was this Shady Smith fellow? We believe he was a traveler, Your Honor. A traveler? According to his passport, he had been out of the country for a number of years. He had only returned to this country recently, though his place of residence is unclear. And he had some sort of connection with the defendant? That, too, is unclear at present, Your Honor. We believe they first met at the Borscht Bowl Club on the night of the crime. If they had only just met, then why murder? Perhaps the victim slighted the defendant's piano playing? Oh my god, could you imagine if Phoenix murdered somebody over his piano playing being assaulted? That would be insane. Especially since, like, I'm fairly positive everybody at his presence is insulting his piano playing, so he'd be murdering a lot of people. That doesn't appear to have been the case. No, the motive had nothing to do with the defendant's lack of playing skill. At least, not piano playing. I'll let this photo explain what I mean. I guess that's the photo we have already. As we can see, a game of poker was in progress at the scene of the crime. Wait a second. Isn't poker gambling? That's a crime in and of itself. The horror! Indeed, it appears our defendant has fallen to become the basest sort of criminal. Objection! Shut up. It is true that the defendant was engaged in a game of poker with the victim, yet it was only that, a game in the purest sense. A competition, Your Honor. A competition? Yes, a test of wits, a silent clash of passions. Only the cards, their backs, wreathed in blue flame, know its final outcome. Oh my god, Christoph is dramatic. Come again? Yeah, me too, Judge. The cards on the table had blue backs, Your Honor. I believe the defense was waxing poetic in an attempt to mystify those present. An impressed woman. That will be our first order of business here then, to find out more about this fatal game of cards. Oh my god, Phoenix's smirk, man. Very well, defendant. You will testify to the court about the poker competition held the night of the crime. My pleasure. This is it, my first trial. Here goes nothing. Oh my god! Our first examination. This is gonna be so exciting. Before I jump into it, remember to like and or subscribe if you're enjoying this. Thank you. I'm having so much fun. Like, seriously, I'm like literally having a blast. I love these games so much. The competition. I am a pianist by trade, yet I can hardly play at all. My real job is to take on interested customers over at the poker table. The room where we play and the competition in there are the club's main attractions. The rules are simple. We play a game of poker using 2 decks of cards. That's all it is, a game, and our customers are happy. Sounds legit to me. A pianist who can't play piano? Better than a defense attorney who can't defend. Okay. Was that called for? You literally lost your case against him when it was his first case ever. He was the greenest of the green, and you lost to this man. So who are you saying can't defend? I'm getting so annoyed on Phoenix's behalf. Very well. The defense may begin the cross-examination. Right, Your Honor. My first cross-examination. Don't blow it. Are you alright? You're sweating bullets. Bullets? Where? Is he kidding? It's a figure of speech, Justice. Your voice sounds strained and raspy, too. My brain feels strained and raspy, sir. You've watched me perform cross-examinations many times, though you've never done one yourself, have you? Care for a refresher? What to do? Should I ask Mr. Gavin for a refresher course in cross-examination? You know what? I don't need a refresher course in cross-examination, but for the sake of the stream and anybody who, like, hasn't seen Ace Attorney, sure. Or played Ace Attorney. Refresher course, please. Better safe than sorry, especially this early in the game. Yes, teach me. I know nothing. Indeed. Your job, Justice, is to be mindful of the court record and the testimony. Look for inconsistencies in the testimony with what the court record tells you. When you found an inconsistency, that's when you present the conflicting evidence from the court record with E. But I didn't hear anything strange at all in the testimony just now. A good sign that you need to press the witness with Q for more information. Press him? Don't let the fact that he's a remarkable man hold you back. Get more information. But isn't Mr. Wright my client? Well, think you can do it? Yeah, that's confusing to me too. Like, why is Apollo cross-examining Phoenix? Like, you wouldn't be doing that in an actual court. You'd just be, like, your clients you examine, and then the opposing attorney cross-examines your witnesses. And I mean, like, I guess, like... No, I'm pretty sure, I mean, maybe it's different in America, but I'm pretty sure that in Canada, only one party can call somebody as a witness. I think it's, like, whoever the... Anyway, whatever. My point is, it makes no sense that he's cross-examining a Phoenix, but I got it for the drama of the game. I got it. Well, think you can do it? Yes, thank you, sir. I think I can do it. I think you better or we're gonna have a problem. Oh my god, Christoph. Just remember, find any inconsistency, any lies in the testimony, and reveal them to the court. That is cross-examination. Learn it, know it, do it. Oh my god. He's like being so like strict, but like look at his little smiley face. Inconsistencies, lies, Phoenix Wright. As if Phoenix Wright would never lie. It's up to me to prove it. The defense may begin the cross-examination. Bro, I think we even had Phoenix lie like as an attorney in the past games. I think we have. Or it wasn't necessarily a lie, I don't think. It was that we omitted something and then didn't bring up a relevant detail until later. But that's still kind of the same thing. I feel like silence there was like a lie by omission. Is that the saying? I don't know. Anyway, I am a pianist by trade, yet I can hardly play at all. I'm gonna press this because what the hell? You can hardly play? Oh, I play sometimes, when customers demand it. So I play them one song. That's usually all they want. Was that supposed to be a boast just now? The title of pianist is a mask, a respectable face I wear for the world at large. And then why are you really at the Borscht Bowl Club? My real job is to take on interested customers over at the poker table. Do I want to just press everything or like, let me see what the play is here. The room where we play and the competition in there are the club's main attractions. The rules are simple. We play a game of poker using 2 decks of cards. That's all it is. A game and our customers are happy. Okay, maybe I'll press this one because obviously one customer was not happy at the end of this game. So, you claim you weren't gambling? That's right. It was simply a game. You didn't bet any money, not even a little. The only thing at stake in our game was pride itself. Ho ho, well put, Mr. Wright. The judge is so funny. I've got a mind to play a hand of poker myself. The stakes? Your fate. What the fuck, Judge? Can we get back to the trial now? I can't imagine Mr. Wright lying in a testimony. Isn't it a little early to be jumping to conclusions? Oh, that was a separate thought. I hate it when it does that. This is your first cross-examination. Take it slow. If you need more information, don't forget to press. Right, I got it. I'm fine. Time to listen to that testimony again. Okay, yeah, so the first 2 pressings did not glean anything useful. So let's go look at another point. Wait, I can look at the history? Oh, that's sick. I really appreciate that because sometimes I like forget what happened before. So it's nice to like be able to scroll up and see. Anyway, they pay you just to play poker? That would seem to be the case. I am a professional after all. Bah, do I detect pride in that statement? It's just hard for an honest, hardworking member of society like me to imagine. Who's prideful now, man? Holy. Yes. Your imagination was always a bit limited, Winston. What? Yeah, that's ripe. I've played poker for 7 years in that little room. And I've never lost. Once. What? You see why the customers come now? Defeat the undefeated poker champion. It's quite a draw. That is, I'm quite a draw. Phoenix. Wait, you've never lost once? Not even one time? As I said, I'm a professional. He's played poker for 7 years and not lost once. Is that even possible? I don't know if there's anything yet. Let me just keep pressing for now. The room where we play in the competition in there. Okay. The room in the crime scene photo is an attraction? It has quite a history, actually. The Borscht Bowl Club used to be a gathering spot for black market types back in the day. Black market? All in the past. Things like the black market are only on the silver screen nowadays. Suffice it to say that there were a lot of deals being made under the table. Right there in that room. A smoky room, gambling hoods. You know, just looking at this picture makes me feel bad. Okay, Judge. The bosses gather around the table, cutting deals safe from the eyes of the law. Meanwhile, a goon keeps watch through the small window. I can practically picture it now. That window does look like it would be good for keeping a lookout, but little else. Yeah, that's true. It's a pretty tiny window. The room had a few other tricks to it, though it was common knowledge to our regulars. At any rate, they come to play poker in a room steeped in history. Despite the dark past, it was all just good, clean fun. Why 2 decks of cards? I'm interested to hear why. Let's see. 2 decks of cards. Oh, he's on the exact same page as me. Oh, he's wearing his bracelet. Oh, I'm so excited to use that. A simple measure to prevent cheating. If you alternate 2 decks, no one can slip in cards. There's something else I noticed. In addition to the cards on the table, there are some lying scattered on the floor. Precisely. Cards on the table, cards upon the floor. Each one forming a complete deck. A crime scene painted blue by a sad sweep of cards. It's poetic, really. Christoph. Incidentally, we used 2 types of cards at the club. One deck of cards was red, the other blue. As I recall, in poker you make 5 card hands. I can see how it would be easy to cheat. Heh. Yes, a game of hands. Yeah, that was a little odd. This competition you're talking about. I believe the court understands the nature of the game sufficiently. That's right. It was a simple game after all. Are you sure? Huh? People are not murdered over simple games, Mr. Justice. Defendant, you were in the room the very moment the crime occurred. Yet, you claim no connection to the crime? Now that's strange. What's strange? I was testifying about the competition that night. Asking me about the crime at this point is against the rules, Your Honor. Of course, I expected to hear a cry of objection from the defense. Bull is just sitting there like... I completely let that one slip by. Don't despair yet, Justice. Sir? Right. There's something I'd like made clear. Namely, your connection to the case at hand. And I'd like to hear it from you. Sure, why not? Very well. The defendant will amend his testimony. Just one little press, and I've got myself a whole new testimony. You sure do. I plead silence regarding the murder, but I will say I never touched the murder weapon. Well, that's a bold-faced lie. It literally says your fingerprints are on it. Should I just press? Should I just present it? I feel like I should. Like, what's the point of pressing that? I got an achievement. Oh, you know what? Maybe I should move my camera a little. So that, well, I don't really know where to put. Maybe we can just put it like here, because the text is never gonna go this far, and then that way you can see achievements that pop up. I hope this doesn't get in the way. That should be okay. Okay. So, you say you didn't touch the murder weapon, this grape juice bottle, right? So I said. Yeah, well, Polar doesn't want to point out the lie, Judge. Something the matter, Mr. Justice? I hate Paid so much. Too bad our new defense attorney never learned how to play dumb. Well, you're not supposed to do that, Payne. The whole point of law is to get to the full truth. You can't do that if you're lying. What's this, Mr. Payne? I examined the bottle in question, you see. and it was covered with the defendant's fingerprints. Dun 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 dun. There's no way Phoenix didn't know that. Anyway, objection. Sorry, that wasn't as loud as Apollo. I'll do it with more vigor next time. No need to shout, Mr. Justice. I can hear you just fine. Excess yelling can damage the judge's ears. And our case. Yeah, that's true enough. But what about my cords of steel? Anyway, what's so strange about fingerprints on a bottle in a restaurant? Well, that's true. The prints alone don't prove he did it. Oh, they wouldn't prove a thing if they were normal fingerprints. Huh? But the fingerprints on the murder weapon were upside down. Upside down? What does that mean? It means he was holding the bottle inverted, and there can be only one reason for that. That's what. Ew. Did you see his face there? Yes, to brain someone with the bottle. Ah. I guess I could have done a better ad on that. Mr. Gavin, I think things just took a turn for the worse. Oh? I see no problem, Justice. Why not? Huh? The only thing that matters is the truth. That's what I just said! There's a good reason for everything, you'll see. Defendant, can you explain your fingerprints on this bottle to the court? I stand by my plea of silence regarding the murder. Oh, that's dangerous, Phoenix. For now. Okay, for now. Not very cooperative, are you? This could hurt your case. I'm sure he's uncooperative because he's hiding something. There must be some reason. Objection. Your Honor, you seem to have forgotten something. And what might that be, Mr. Gavin? On the night of the crime, who was it who reported the murder to the police? Reported? Well, that was the defendant, Mr. Wright, but still, that... Really? Yes, well, according to the case file, the murder was reported from near the scene by a call from the defendant's cell phone. Near the scene? Let's take a look at a diagram of the murder scene, shall we? It's always so interesting how it takes, like... I hope it doesn't autoplay. Okay, we're good. It is always so strange to me that it takes going through an entire piece of testimony for us to get to this part, the important part, which is, here's a diagram of the case, and here's what happened, here's what it looks like. Like, this is so important to understanding what happens. And, like, I feel like this should have been introduced at the get-go. But it's not in anyone's evidence right now, and that just doesn't compute. I just don't totally understand, you know. I mean, I guess, okay, I get it from a game perspective. From game perspective, it's obviously, like, it makes sense to throw in surprises like this. Because that's what makes the game fun and exciting. But, yeah, in real life, this would be so horrible. The victim was murdered in a small room in a basement 2 floors down from ground level. Of course, cell phones can't get reception so far down. The defendant used the stairs in this hallway to go above ground. The call came from the first floor of the restaurant. I see. And this is the phone that made the call? Wright's cell phone added to the court record, used by the defendant to notify the police from the restaurant's first floor. The defendant could have just fled the scene of the crime if he so chose. Yet, he fulfilled his duty as a citizen and reported it to the authorities. And you claim he is being uncooperative? That's a good point, Christoph. Irk. What a word. What a sound, I mean. Nice save, Mr. Gavin. I'd better not waste this. I think the prosecution has toyed with our client enough for the time being. Toyed? I assure you, no one is more serious about... I mean, look at your hair, man. Are you serious about anything? What was it you said? The defendant was in the room the very moment that the crime occurred. How can you possibly know this? That's a good question. How indeed? The answer is simple, Your Honor. The prosecution has a decisive witness. He he he. You're as good as they say you are. So, someone else was in the room the night of the crime. That must mean they witnessed the crime. Everything up till now has been a warm-up, Justice. Are you ready? Very well. The prosecution may call its first witness to the stand. Olga. The witness will state her name and profession. Hold on just a moment. Where's the witness? What do you mean, where's the witness? I surmise that she has been frightened by the defense's demonic-looking horns? What do you mean horns? Are you talking about his spikes? So used a little hair gel. Relax, people. Okay, well, to be fair, Apollo, that's a lot of hair gel. It's not a little. Have no fear. If any horns point in your direction, this court will cut them off. That's aggressive, Judge. You are sure? I swear it on my gavel. Please, come out. Isn't violence against hair a crime, Your Honor? Is it? Well, if you are sure, it is okay. Aw, she's so cute. Ahem. Now, the prosecution. Oh my god, she took a picture! Well, wait a minute. Would the prosecution care to explain the witness's, paraphernalia? I don't know what that means. Paraphernalia? Oh, it's just stuff and things? Okay, now I know a new, needlessly complicated word. Yes. She is a professional, Your Honor. Those are merely the tools of her trade. Oh, I'm pretty sure that nobody else heard my partner there, but he said that paraphernalia is like another word for like stuff and things. Like paraphernalia of something kind of thing. I'm not really good at explaining, but that's it in essence. She is a professional, Your Honor. Those are merely the tools of her trade. And that would be... My name is Olga Orly. I'm just trying to see if there's like, if there's a pun in there. Like, you know, Winston Payne, all that fun stuff. Like, unless it's literally just old girly, I have no idea. I am employed as waitress in Borscht Bowl Club restaurant. Then, why the camera? Of course, it is my pride to serve borscht that is naming a restaurant. But I also perform, how it is said, other service. I take it one of these other services is taking the customer's pictures? Dada. Like, for example, this one. Oh. That's quite the photo. That's the defendant? Indeed, on the night of the murder. Man in white hat is one who has gone kaput. Indeed, that is the victim. Order, order. And this is quite a piece of evidence to casually drop into our laps. In the same way as I drop cold bowls of borscht on laps of customers. Casually. Then the court will casually accept this new evidence. Olga's photo added to the court record. The defendant and Mr. Smith at the Borscht Bowl Club. Now, witness, where were you at the time of the murder? I was in room, the hideout we call it. Excuse me? The hideout? It is room where famous gangster Bad Guy was arrested. His what? His name is Bad Guy? Is room where murder took place. What? Your look of utter surprise. It is lovely. Aww. I will post by courtroom door later for you. Aw, that's so sweet. And Dada, photos will be numbered, and you will write which ones you want copy of. So, there were 3 people in the room at the time of the crime. The victim, Shady Smith, Mr. Wright... Oh, sorry. Wait, yeah, sorry, the victim is Shady Smith. The victim, Shady Smith, Mr. Wright, and Olga Orley, our witness. And if Mr. Wright isn't the killer, that means... It's not Olga! What the fuck? He thinks Olga killed her? I mean, him? That's crazy! Like, what motive would she even have for that? Anyway, very well, witness. You will testify to the court about that night's events. And that fateful night. That night, customer asked me to deal cards for game. It was cold. Both players played with hats on. Da. The victim, he plays whole time with his hand on lock at his neck. Then, last hand is done, but something terrible has happened. Da. That man flew at victim and is strangling him to death. Oh my god! Wait, that's not what happened. Incidentally, who won the game? Isn't it obvious? The winner was the victim, Mr. Smith.
Objection!
That's ridiculous. Because Mr. Wright can't lose. Great, Apollo. Solid. Justice? Maybe you can come up with a more legitimate objection? But he hadn't lost in 7 years. So what, man? Take it from me, kid. It happens. I didn't lose a case my first 7 years as a prosecutor either. Incidentally, I have some evidence here. That makes no goddamn sense. That he's never lost a case in 7 years. That makes no sense. Unless literally every single defense attorney against him was the stupidest defense attorney in the entire world. Like, I just don't get it. Anyway, these are the poker chips as they lay the very moment of the crime. The hand and chips on this side belong to the defendant, Mr. Wright. Those on the far side belong to the victim, Mr. Smith. Chips, you say? Duh. I mean, yes. Imagine that poker is war. Your hand is your army, and the chips are the spoils. What is with the weird fucking metaphors in this game? Oh, I missed that. I know that. After all, in my youth, I was known as the poker head of courtroom number 3. I think he means poker face. Looking at this picture, it does seem that most of the chips are on the victim's side of the table. Okay. Very well. The defense may cross-examine the witness. Okay. I will take this moment right before the cross-examination to be right back. Please hold. Be back shortly, peeps. I've returned. Hello, peeps. Okay, that fateful night. I mean, I feel like we're just gonna, like, what do you call it? We're gonna present evidence against that obvious contradiction. And is strangling him to death. Single blow to forehead. Wait, how do I... Oh. Objection! Okay. Oh, really? Strangled, you say? That's odd. Normal customers only choke on borscht. Oh my god. No, I mean, this report shows that the victim died of a blow to the head. Miss Orley, really now? Did you witness the crime? Oh, eek! Oh my god, I loved that. That was so cute. Looking at the picture, it doesn't seem like he was hit. He's still wearing his hat and everything. Yet, it is a fact that he was hit, Your Honor. Yeah, there it is. Wait, so is this guy, like, bald on top and that's, like, blood dripping? Or is that, like, his hair? Like, does he have just, like, one strip of hair, like, right through the top? Like, I'm actually not sure. Is there a picture of him? No, without his hat on. Do you want to quickly read this? To Christoph Gavin, boss at Gavin Law Offices, a first-rate defense attorney and my trusted mentor, age 32. Phoenix Wright, pianist at the Borscht Bowl Club, formerly an ace defense attorney of some renown, age 33. Oh, he's 1 year older than Christoph. Interesting. Shay Smith, question mark, age. The victim in this case, a traveler only recently back in country. Winston Payne, age 61, the prosecuting attorney. For all his experience, he lacks a certain presence. He really does. Olga Orley, 21. Oh, she's young. The witness in this case, a Russian waitress at the Borscht Bowl Club. Okay, here's a photo we took of the victim with his hat off during our investigation. Well, that's quite shocking, isn't it? This head certainly was hit. Crime photo 2 added to the court record. Photo of forehead, hat removed during investigation. But I have seen it happen. The defendant, he lunged at victim, his neck. Oh really, Miss Orley? I think I've caught you in your own lie this time. Justice, I admire your enthusiasm, but perhaps you should think this through once more. What do you mean? I found a contradiction. There's one thing in her testimony that troubles me. Very well. It seems we should continue the cross-examination. There's such a thing as thinking too much. This horse is dead. Let's stop beating it. There's such a thing as thinking aloud too much, too. Apollo said that out loud. So if both players played with hats on, then, like, how did that guy's hat fall off? Hold it! It's already April. How could it be cold? What? That's not what I wanted to ask. At Borscht Bowl... Oh, there's such a thing as thinking too much? Or there's such a thing as thinking aloud too much? At Borscht Bowl Club, we have pride on authentic rustic Russian restaurant theme. You just said yes. Does that mean both? Oh, aloud. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Outside, it is city in spring, but inside, it is always as cold as Mother Russia. No way am I going there. When it comes to hot borscht, cold is best seasoning, da? Maybe... Let's see. His locket? I believe it was good luck charm, da? He gripped it many times as he played that night. Yes, he must have felt as though it might carry him to the moon and the stars. That's so random. Why did he say that? Though if it were small enough to fit around his neck, it wouldn't have much lift. The defense would like a clarification. This is a locket we're talking about? I mean, a pendant with a picture in it, right? Not a rocket? Oh, okay. That was a very polite way of Apollo to make that correction. Of course, I knew that. It was probably a pendant shaped like a rocket. That's why she called it that. No, a locket's a locket. It doesn't matter what shape it is. It's considered bad form to poke fun at the hard of hearing in our society. Hard of hearing or hard of understanding? Oh my god, Apollo. So, what happened next? Okay. Well... I'll press this, I guess, since I didn't press it before. You didn't say anything about hitting before. Oh, she changed it. Sorry, I must be forgetting this, da. Witness, you will take greater care with your testimony. Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor. And that clears up the discrepancy with the autopsy report, I believe. The defendant made to strangle his victim, then changed his mind and chose a simpler, blunter means to do the job. Yes, that sums it up nicely. So, he strangled him, then hit him? Something's fishy about all this. Go ahead, I believe you know what it is you need to do. Right, sir, leave it to me. There were only 3 people in the room at the time of the murder. The victim, Shady Smith, Mr. Wright, and... Oh wait, he's saying that again. Let me press on that, just in case. I don't know. You were dealing cards. Do you do this often? Da, I am doing this. If customer wishes it, I serve anything. Borscht, cards, more borscht. It is my work. It's good to hear of a place that hasn't forgotten the meaning of service. Welcome you to Borscht Bowl, Borscht Bowl Club, where borscht is as warm as the waitresses. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you for not handing out flyers during the cross-examination. That's so funny. After defendant tried to strangle victim, he hit him with the bottle. I mean, I don't see any strangle marks. Like, is that a thing? I don't know. I don't know if that's the right thing to present. Objection! I guess not. Whoops. No, it didn't. Okay, let me try and press on this one because I don't think I did yet. Something terrible? Eek. The defense will refrain from needless shouting. Sorry, I need to seriously reconsider this vocal training thing. Now, Miss Orley, can you tell us what happened? Oh, I was so frightened. I trembled with fear. Okay, so nothing useful. So, after the defendant tried to strangle the victim, he hit him with the bottle. But, so what... No, wait. I don't think I've inspected this yet. What's that? Wow, the battery is being held in with a piece of tape. He should just buy a new one. Maybe he can't afford it, or he just doesn't care. I think it's probably both. I think she just wants to make sure that that borscht is safe forever. She really, really cares about that borscht. Okay. I don't think there's anywhere else for me to interact with on his phone. Unless I can, like, actually click the buttons on his phone. No clues here. Yeah, it didn't let me, like, click it. Okay, it's fine then. This is before, so that doesn't make sense. She really does. Maybe it is just the autopsy report.
Objection!
No, it's not.
Hold it!
Let me just make sure there's no additional. Made to strangle his victim and change his mind, chose a simpler, blunter means to do the job. What do you mean I know what it is I need to do? But if both players played with their hats on, then how did he get hit?
Objection!
Okay, well that's not it either. Could you imagine if I just lose right away? Okay, I guess it's not right away. Wait. It's that he doesn't have...
Objection!
Yes. Here are the cards. This guy got a full house with a king and an ace, and this person got a full house with a 7 and an ace. So this person won. And this person was the victim. Though, that being said, I don't think we actually see the center cards. Like, aren't those important as well? I don't know. I don't really know anything about poker. It's important at some point, I promise. It's still good to keep in mind. You know, there's one curious part in her testimony. Just like Mr. Gavin said. But what does it mean? Mr. Justice, would you care to explain what it is you're thinking so intensely about? Recall the testimony, Your Honor. The victim played with his hand-on locket at his neck, I believe she said. I hope you aren't about to raise an objection to the witness's grammar. Oh my god, that would be so shitty. No, but look at this photograph. Do you see a locket on the victim's neck? Well done, Justice. I'm impressed. I knew you'd be able to handle this. But what does it mean? If we are to believe this witness's testimony as is, then the locket disappeared following the victim's death. Lockets don't just disappear, Your Honor. It's quite simple when you think about it. If the locket is gone, someone must have taken it off, no? Taken it off? Wait, you don't mean... The defendant wasn't strangling the victim at all. He was taking off his locket. Wouldn't that explain it? Ah. Irk? How does that help me or him? Defendant, what do you have to say to this? Say. Yes? I just noticed this, but... You have something hanging around your neck, don't you? Oh? You mean this? Yes, it's a locket with a photograph inside. A photo of my daughter. Come again? Mr. Wright, you have a daughter? We confirmed it at the time of the arrest. The picture in the locket is indeed Mr. Wright's daughter. So, Mr. Wright has a locket too? Why don't I buy that this is just a coincidence? Probably because it's not. So we're still a little confused about the chain, but I guess we'll keep going and see what happens. Well now, if the results of this poker game led to the murder, perhaps we should hear a bit more about the outcome of the game? Further testimony won't really be necessary. It's clear the defendant lost. Badly. Ooh, what was that face about? Miss Orley, you will testify to the court about the game played between the victim and the defendant. Da. Serious competition. The game began with 3,500 point and chips for each man. House chips come in two sizes, small and large. The one who is winning, it was victim. For last hand, defendant play with all chips on table and lose. The moment loss was decided, defendant grabs bottle from table and... Indeed, looking at this picture, it does seem to be a one-sided game. As the court knows, poker was the defendant's life. Failure must have been a bitter pill to swallow. Ah, how many times have I heard these words? I done it in a fit of anger, Your Honor, and now I regret what I done. A common tale, but true. Methinks the judge watches too many old court movies. Mr. Wright said he hasn't lost in 7 years, so this testimony must be wrong. I mean, why does he believe Phoenix so hard on that? The game began with 3,500 point and chips for each man. Oh, I think she explains, like, what the chips mean here. Are those the usual starting points? Were any special rules used? No, not special. Usual game, usual rules. If each man began with 3,500 points, then the total would be, exactly 7,000 points. I can see why he's in law. Please, this isn't calculus. It's not even long division. House chips come in two sizes, small and large. Oh, let me press on this. Are the chips in this photo all the chips that were used? Of course. Something's fishy with these chips. Should I press harder? Yes. Maybe you could explain a bit about these chips? Explain? What is there to be explained? Poker chips are poker chips. They're not fish and chips, not a chip off the old block, not a motorcycle cop, not a... Thanks. Now that I've pressed her, I better ask something. What are these chips worth? Are they in dollars or rubles even? Niet. As I've been saying before, it was a game, not gambling. Hard perhaps for capitalists to understand. Ooh. Two types of chip, 100 points chip and 1,000 points chip. It is not money, Justice. Sir, don't you find her comment interesting? In more ways than one, sir. I'd have it added to her testimony myself. Well, does the defense want the witness to add it to her testimony? Yes, please. Yes, I do think this deserves further scrutiny. Add it to the testimony. I wish I knew where I was going with this. Very well. Witness, if you would be so kind. Da, Your Honor. One kind. Oh. I'm gonna press on this. Mr. Gavin said this testimony is important. To be honest, I have no idea why. Are you kidding, Apollo? Yes, you do. Mr. Justice, do the court a favor and think of what you want to say before raising your hand. We are not in kindergarten. Sorry, I'm fine. I'd better think of something to ask. And quick. The 2 types of chips. Da? The small ones are 100 and the big ones 1,000. Right? Right, of course. Ha! Don't waste our time. Is that all? Yeah. Great. Mr. Gavin made me stop her, and now I'm the one who looks dumb. Oh, Justice? Please try not to embarrass me like that. Huh? Who? Me? There's a clear contradiction in the information you have in your hands. What? It's a simple matter of calculation. Go on, try it. We're not in kindergarten, after all. Calculation. So either if the big chip is worth 1,000, this would be like 1,400, and that would be several thousand points, which is a lot. Oh. But that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense because they each start with 3,500. So how is it possible for there to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? How is it possible for there to be 10,600 on the table? But if these were the thousands and those were the hundreds, then that would add up to 7,000. So it's actually the other way around. So where do I present? Is it this one that I put?
Objection!
Yeah, there we go. Oh, was there 100 missing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, no, it's just over here, I think. Wait, 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah. I can see it. It is behind my picture, though. It's just for you guys that you can't see that portion of my screen. You're sure it was the victim who won? Absolutely sure. Ooh. It seems our new attorney is a bit confused. A glance at the picture is enough to tell you who won, if you're not in kindergarten. Just for safety's sake, could you explain the problem to the court? Of course, Your Honor. In this photo, I see small chips and I see large chips. Tell me, which were worth 1,000 points? Why, the big ones, of course. Duh. Yeah, it was over it. Oh, I thought so too. But then the totals don't add up. The totals? Let's review what the witness told us. Each man started with 3,500 points in chips, and the combined total value of the chips was 7,000 points. Yes, if my calculations are correct, let's see. 3 plus 1, carry the 5. Oh my god, what is the judge doing? They are, Your Honor. Now, look at this photo that allegedly shows all the chips. If the big chips are worth 1,000 points and the small chips are worth 100, and you add them up, how much is it? Do it yourself. You aren't in kindergarten, are you? 10,600 points. The chips don't add up. This clearly contradicts the witness's testimony. But why? How could this be? Exactly, Justice. Now that you know the what, you must determine the why. Right, there's only one possible way to explain this contradiction. The chip count's right and the starting points are right, so both were right. Each man began the game with 3,500 points. If all the chips are indeed shown in this photograph, then there can be only one answer. Well, what is it? The value of the chips was the other way around. What? Want to know what I think? The small chips were worth 1,000 points, not the big ones. Madness. Utter madness. I mean, it's pretty obvious if you just do the math, buddy. Show me that photograph of the chips again. There's 6 small chips and 10 large chips. Why, that does make 7,000 points when you add them up. Wow, he did that one fast, even though he did the other one so slow. Excellent work, Justice. It's almost as though you figured it out by yourself. Well, I'm just glad I was the one who said it. But wait! The value of the chips may be different, but that changes nothing. Indeed, the victim did have the larger number of chips still. Ah, exactly. If the small chips are 1,000 points and the large chips are 100, let's do a little math. And up the points for each side of the table. Or add up... Oh. I thought this said and. Wait. Yeah. Add up the points for each side of the table. The victim, Mr. Smith, had 2,900 points and the defendant had 4,100 points. Well now, it seems that Mr. Wright was winning that night after all. That's impossible. My client had even less reason to kill the victim. After all, he was winning. I mean, like, that last hand though, like, she said that, like, I'm not trying to play devil's advocate or anything, but she did say that the defendant went all in at the end for some reason, and we obviously see that he lost his hand. So, like, he might have been winning at the time, like, before. Like, when that picture was taken. No, not when the picture was taken, but, like... But, like, he wasn't by the time. Yeah, anyway. Now, Miss Orley, you must have known the true value of the chips, since you were there at the scene of the crime. Weren't you? Eek. I love the sound. It sounds so satisfying, the dishes clacking together like that. Order, order. It appears our defendant has lost his motive, and Mr. Wright's supposed defeat never happened. I don't even know what that sound. I think I did it good. We must now ask ourselves whether we can trust the witness's testimony. Excuse me? What is it, Miss Orley? I did not want to be saying this, but actually, you see, see what, Miss Orley? What do we see? In the last hand, there was cheat. Cheat? You don't mean a trick. Wait, or do you mean a scam? They're all the same thing. Yes, there was cheat in last hand. That is why game ends with chips as they are. Great, just great. First we have lying, now cheating. Well, this case certainly has taken a turn. For the interesting. Christoph. Witness, you will please testify to the court. Tell us about this cheating in the final hand. The last hand, both men had full house. There is 4 of each card in deck from ace to king. If you look at both men's hands, cheat is more obvious. The next moment, game becomes argument, The defendant's trick was exposed. He took bottle in his hand. Poor Mr. Smith. Miss Orley, why did you not tell the court about this from the very beginning? I thought I smelled a cover up here. Well, folks, it's time to throw back the covers. A full house is a very high-scoring hand. Not easy to make in my experience. That alone is enough to suspect less than scrupulous tactics. Mr. Gavin? What's a full house? Lawyers these days, you don't know your poker? I can't say this bodes well for your case or career. What? To not know the rules of poker? What is this? Some kind of secret court poker ring? Justice. You know the terms one pair, two pair, and three of a kind, yes? Yeah, no problem. 2 cards with the same number makes a pair, and 3 makes a three of a kind. Good. Now picture a hand with 1 pair and 1 three of a kind. That's a full house. That doesn't sound very easy to make, does it? You can see each player's hand in this photo. Wow, they both have full houses. We forget there's an easy way to make a full house and go undefeated for 7 years. You cheat. The defense may cross-examine the witness. If he did cheat in the last hand, that still leaves one important question. Mr. Wright lost that hand. Who's ever heard of a professional con man losing when they cheat? True. If you look at both men's hands, cheat is more obvious. The next... Okay, let me... press. How was it clear? Well, the defendant, he played a 5th ace. A 5th ace? I still remember both hands very well. Mr. Smith's hand has 3 aces. And Mr. Wright's 2. Obviously, cheating was afoot, or perhaps I should say, a hand. Your Honor, perhaps this can be added to the testimony without Mr. Payne's joke. Very well. The witness will add this detail to her testimony, please. Mr. Smith's hand has 3 aces and Mr. Wright's 2. It is 5 aces in all. But that's not what it looks like in this photo.
Objection!
It appears the witness is mistaken. Mistaken? But my name... Look, this piece of evidence clearly contradicts what you said in your testimony. That's the photo of the chips, is it not? Justice. Perhaps you ought to explain your point in a way that the judge can comprehend. In other words, use your finger to point out your point. Yes, please point out the contradiction in this photo. What particular point contradicts the witness's testimony?
Take that!
Why, it's here, of course. It's where? Where is that you're pointing? Where? Good question. Okay, my bad. Okay, I think I need to point up here.
Take that!
Miss Orley, in your testimony, you made the following claim. Mr. Smith's hand has 3 aces. But as you can clearly see, the victim's hand only held 2 aces. Eek. Well, maybe the witness was simply confused. Perhaps it was the defendant's hand that held the 3rd ace in question. They both still only have 2. Take another look at the evidence. As you can see, the defendant also had 2 aces in his hand. Where's this 5th ace? I see cheating all right, and it's going on right here in this courtroom. Damn, Apollo. 2 aces in each player's hand does make 4 aces total. Good math, Judge. Hardly proof of cheating. Wait, please. It is true, I have seen it. The 5th ace. There was cheating, I swear to you. That's odd. She must be lying, yet she's the most sincere I've seen her all day. You're right to trust your instincts. Mr. Gavin? Who knows what lies in store for us in the trial ahead? Your Honor, if I may, I have a suggestion. What might that be, Mr. Gavin? I feel like my audio's lagging. If you don't mind, perhaps we might examine the actual cards? The cards? Mr. Payne. Yes? The players' hands that night were set aside as evidence, were they not? The defense would like to request that the cards be shown to the court. Very well. The prosecution will submit this evidence. Which will you examine? The victim's cards or the defendant's cards? If these cards don't prove cheating was going on, nothing will. Now, which of these hands is more suspicious? Definitely the victim's hand. It was the victim's hand that changed over the course of the witness's testimony. The defense requests time to examine Mr. Smith's cards. Very well. Mr. Payne, if you would. Very well. Well, time's a-wasting. Get to it, Justice. Yes, sir. When examining evidence, be sure to view it from all sides and angles. Try using the arrow keys to turn every which way and be an M to zoom in and out. That should give you a better perspective of the case. What? Your Honor, look at this. One of the victim's cards. The back is a different color. Eh? Eh? That's impossible. But I put that card in Wright's hand. What was that, Miss Orley? Niet. Or I merely said that I have eek. Your Honor? Mr. Gavin, yes? Tell me, what is the easiest way to cheat at poker? To cheat? I'll tell you. One merely needs a friend, a comrade, shall we say. The dealer. Ah. Wait, so you mean this witness, Miss Orley, she's the cheater. A professional, I'd wager. Yeah! That's such a weird sound that she just made. Order. Focus, Justice. Time to take advantage of her. Of her mistake. What the fuck? Your Honor. Please recall the testimony we just heard. No, that's impossible. But I put that card in Wright's hands. Ergo. Well, I put enunciation on the wrong word, but it's fine. Miss Olga Orley conspired to cheat, not with my client, but with the victim, Mr. Shady Smith. Ooh. Not only did she cheat, she cheated poorly. Therefore, it's not hard to imagine an altercation between her and the victim. What? Wait, you don't mean the defense isn't accusing the witness, Miss Olga Orley, are you? Time for justice. There were 3 people in the room at the time of the incident, and if Mr. Wright isn't guilty, that means I am. The defense accuses the witness, Miss Olga Orley, of murder. Dun 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 dun. Mr. Payne. Where's your witness, Miss Olga Orley? It appears she has lost consciousness, Your Honor. Mr. Justice? Your Honor, it seems you've presented a new possibility to the court. One suggesting a connection between the witness and the victim, Mr. Smith. And that means this court cannot pronounce a verdict for the defendant at this time. What? I did it. I held out. I see no point in prolonging the trial this day. The prosecution will need to make further inquiries.
Objection!
Mr. Wright? You can't end the trial here, Your Honor. Not yet. What nonsense is the defense spewing now? Think. One of the cards had a different colored back. Don't you wonder what it means? What are you doing, Mr. Wright? Raising objections right when you're about to get off the hook? Ridiculous! Mr. Payne, you of all people should know. Mr. Wright has a talent for the ridiculous. Perhaps we should get to the bottom of things. Let's clear up the facts about the game that fateful night. As was said before, we alternated between 2 decks of cards that night. That was said before. The 2 decks at the club have different colored backs, blue and red. 1 color per deck. Why use different colored backs? If we use the same color, the 2 decks might get mixed. You use different colors and they still got mixed up. We used the red deck for the last game. I see. But that's odd. For some reason, I have this impression that you were using the blue cards. Yeah, me too. I'm sure someone said something about blue cards. Whatever. In the end, 1 card of the wrong color got into the mix. Which means there was cheating. Yes, a card slipped into the deck would seem to indicate cheating. Yet, this card raises 2 serious questions. Apollo? Yes? Let's consider the first question, shall we? Think. In the last game, when was the card swapped? When? There are 3 broad possibilities here. It could have been swapped before the murder, during the murder, or after the murder. Well, yeah. Thanks for the news bulletin, Mr. Wright. Of course it was swapped. Oh? It might be as simple as you think, Mr. Payne. Or it might not be. Ink is such a really weird noise. I'd like to hear what Apollo thinks first. When do you think the cards were swapped? When was the card swapped into the deck? It has to be after the murder, right? Perhaps it happened after the murder? What's that? Ridiculous. What's the point of cheating after the hands have been shown? That's silly. Yes, but tell me, how do you swap cards during the game? I'll take silly over impossible. Take it from me, son. There's a lot of silly in this world, but very little impossible. Oh? Even when the backs of the cards are a different color? If you pulled that during the game, you'd be caught in no time. Ah, quite true. That would mean that the blue card in question was swapped after the hands were shown, after the murder. Okay, this is going past silly and straight on to crazy. I ask again, what's the point of cheating after the game's over? Who would do that? Who indeed? That's one of the mysteries before us. There's another? Yes, a simple yet decisive question must be asked. Who swapped the red card for a blue card? Who? The game and murder is done. The victim is dead. Only 2 remain in the room, alive that is. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, and our witness, Olga Orley. Okay, so who was it that swapped the red card for a blue? So was it Olga to cover up the fact that she helped someone cheat? Or was it Phoenix to get rid of his motive? The one who swapped the cards was Mr. Wright. It was you, wasn't it? And why would I do such a thing? Oh, well, because, maybe you were trying to hide the fact that you cheated. That would make sense, but the swap card was in the victim's hands. Oh, sorry, I'm a nice guy, but I'm not that nice. Come to think of it, he would lack a motive for helping his opponent to win. Okay, so who was it that swapped the red card for a blue? Wait, what? I still thought, okay, whatever, it's fine. I guess it was Olga. Why, it must have been Olga Orley who swapped the cards. She was trying to cover up evidence of the cheating. That does make some sense. Sorry, but there's a problem with that explanation. Huh? The swap card was from the wrong deck. Yes, a blue card was stuck into a red hand. Mixing a card from the wrong deck when the backs are different colors? Remember that you're talking about Olga Orly. She was the dealer. Do you really think she would make such a novice mistake? Actually, I have trouble imagining even the judge making that mistake. Give it a little more thought, Apollo. Right. Okay, so who was it that swapped the red card for blue? Someone else? The one who swapped the cards wasn't Mr. Wright, of course. And, well, it doesn't seem like it could have been Olga Orly either. What are you suggesting? That's hardly a logical conclusion, I'll admit. As the defense, I think it only makes sense for you to name as Orly at this point. Yes, I know, but she was the one who dealt the cards, right? I just can't believe she would make the mistake of swapping the wrong color card. And if the card was swapped during the game, it'd be obvious. Something you'd like to share with the court, Mr. Wright? Oh, my apologies, Your Honor. I was just thinking how much fun all this is. Fun? How about confusing? I have no idea what the defense is claiming, Your Honor. If the one who swapped the card wasn't the defendant and it wasn't Miss Orly, then who was it? Yeah, well, that is the question, isn't it? Precisely. Huh? I believe we're about to see this case take a new direction. A new direction? We'll find that, indeed, after the murder, someone swapped one of the cards in the victim's hand. And that someone made two critical mistakes. I'm sure you're gonna tell us that the first was swapping the wrong color card. Because the one who did the swap didn't know two colors of cards were being used. The other mistake was the number on the card. Right. The person replaced the fifth ace with a king. I'm sure whoever swapped it wasn't expecting there to be a fifth ace after all. All they knew was that the game had been won with a full house. So they picked up a king from the table and swapped it in. But there's one problem. According to our case record, this person doesn't exist. True, not until now, but you have to admit the possibility of a fourth person. Though it's more than a possibility. There was someone else there that night at the scene of the crime. What? Yeah, true, Phoenix was there. He can testify to that. I believe the judge spoke truthfully earlier. You do make trials. Ridiculous, Mr. Wright. That's the thing. This trial has proceeded on one central assumption, namely that at the time of the incident there were only 3 people in that room. I believe this new evidence, shall we say, overturns that assumption. The problem is that you chose to conceal this information from the court. I suppose that is a problem, yes. Court is adjourned for a brief recess. Mr. Gavin, I'll see you in my chambers during this recess. Certainly, Your Honor. Very well. The trial will resume in 20 minutes. April 20th, 11:52 a.m. District Court. Defendant lobby number 3. That was quite unexpected, Mr. Wright. To suddenly claim there was another person at the scene of the crime like that. I must ask, is it the truth? Well now, I think you would know the answer to that. Ah, being mysterious, are we? Sadly, I've no time for mysteries. I'd only ask that you leave the defending to your defense in the future. Otherwise, I cannot guarantee the outcome. I see you haven't mellowed out one bit, Christoph. Justice? Yes, sir. The judge has summoned me to his chambers, so carry on without me. You did well, Apollo. Can I ask you something? Sure. That locket you wear, is that really yours, Mr. Wright? Ah, you're wondering about the victim's disappearing locket. Here, you can take a look at it. That's a picture of my daughter in there. That sure is his daughter. I'm just surprised to hear you had a daughter. Most people are. Perhaps you'll meet her one of these days. One more question. The one who cheated that night, Was it you? What do you think? Huh? You know what happened 7 years ago, what I did. It's not unreasonable for you to think that I might cheat. I never, honest, but it is odd that you managed to go undefeated for 7 whole years. Want to know something? There's only one game where you can be dealt bad cards all night and still win. Poker. Eh? You see, poker's all about reading your opponent. In that way, it's a lot like a court case. Poker is like trial law. Figure out what your opponent is thinking, and you win. Well, yeah, but that's harder than it sounds. I think not. Try as they might to conceal it, everyone reveals their true thoughts in the end. Their body language can become a valuable source of information. You're kidding. That witness, for instance, Miss Orley. She would touch the back of her neck during certain parts of her testimony. Did you notice? No. Come on, who'd notice that? Words, habits, twitches, it's all information for the reading. That's the secret to winning, Apollo. Someone taught me, and now I pass the secret on to you. But I'm not worthy. I mean, there's no way I'll pick up on these signals. No, you can do it. Huh? You just don't know it yet. What's he talking about? But you will, soon. Ah, almost forgot. One more thing. About this case. You should know I haven't told the truth to anyone yet. What? I knew it! I have my reasons, of course. All shall be revealed. And Apollo, I need you to be there, defending me. I need your power. My, power? I had no idea my courts of steel were that special. Shut up, Apollo. Oh my god. Phoenix, it's time. The real trial begins now. Do your best. To be continued. Nice. Okay. I think that's a good stopping point, honestly. Hit the first checkpoint, feeling really good, had so much fun with that. And I'm surprised at how much I've, like, forgotten since, like, that time that I played the first couple of cases. It's, like, years ago, so that makes sense. But, yeah, it's nice, because it makes it feel fresh still. Like, normal Ace Attorney isn't like that for me, because, like, I've played those games so many times that by now it's, like, I've memorized all the evidence, like, I know, like, the answer to everything already. Like, there are no surprises anymore, but there are definitely still surprises with this one. I guess that's what happens when I play something only once, you know, but, yeah. Anyway, I'm having a blast, and there's, like, way more to explore, so I'm really, really looking forward to, like, the future, like, Phoenix Wright games as well, because, like, I thought, like, when I first heard of this trilogy, I had thought that it was all gonna be Apollo Justice. I didn't realize it was gonna be Apollo Justice and then Phoenix and then Phoenix. I think that's what it is, like, from what it looked like. So, yeah, I'm really, really excited. I miss Phoenix in action. Like, those games were just everything. Loved them so much. I think, like, yeah, I think those games were actually what, I mean, not, like, totally, but I think they were part of what pushed me towards the legal field, which, yeah, is what I do now. I'm a legal assistant and law clerk, and I have been for the past couple of years. And I think that, like, I've always found interest in that, like, with this game, like, the shows. So, yeah, it's a blast, like, re-exploring this, especially, like, after having started in the legal field. Like, it's a lot different playing these games before and after having gone to school and, like, you know, learn the in and outs. I mean, like, the Canadian legal system is obviously going to be different than this, but still, it gives me a fresh take. And, like, I was worried that starting law was going to make me disappreciate these games. Like I thought I was gonna not like them anymore, but no, I do. Like they're still so great. I love them. Like sometimes they're a little silly. Sometimes I might like roll my eyes because like that makes no sense. But like it's all in good fun. At the end of the day, it's just a game. Like it's just for fun, and I do enjoy these games. They're so freaking fun. So yeah. So I will. I think I'm gonna be doing this one like every other day. Like I have a new stream schedule of Sunday to Friday. So I'll do Ace Attorney on Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Skyrim on Mondays. I'll do Isaac on Wednesdays, and I'll do House Flipper on Fridays. And then Saturday's my off day, but I mean I may every now and again like just jump on and do something short, miscellaneous, fun, that kind of thing. But we shall see. We shall see what the future will hold. Anyway, thank you for tuning in, peeps. Remember to like and or subscribe if you enjoyed this and you want to see more content like this. And yeah. Thank you for tuning in, peeps. Goodbye.